Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording on Tuesday, February 4th, after the Celtics 112-105 win over the Cleveland Cavaliers. They've now won 4 in a row. Huge win over the Cavs in this one. Good game all around for the Celtics. Held the Cavs to 105 points. The best offense in basketball, or one of them to 105 points. Good two-way performance for the C's. And a big win that brings them to, I believe, within 4.5 games of the top seed in the Eastern Conference.
They're just kind of peeking around the corner now, like seeing what's going on with the Cavs, just kind of lurking, seeing, what if they beat them on February 28th too? What then? Maybe they can climb up and get the 1 seed. They certainly played an impressive game today, and it kind of goes back to last game where not everything went their way, and they still figured out a way to win. Don't get me wrong. Cavs were atrocious shooting the ball. They did not shoot anywhere near their typical clip. They missed a lot of threes. Donovan Mitchell looked like he was human today. We did see the first stretch, maybe ever, I think. I've seen Darius Garland play well against the Celtics. In the third quarter, he was pretty good. But besides that, like, you really didn't get the kind of offensive firepower from the Cavs that you usually get. I'm sure the Celtics had plenty to do with that. But, they did benefit from some bounces actually going their way today rather than not. They still had to lock in. They forced a lot of turnovers today, and that was awesome because it was a game where the Celtics had to kind of create their own energy because early on the shots were not going in. They managed to go up 20 points in the first half, and they did it while they were shooting like 30-something% from the field. Like, it was not pretty, and they just kind of continued to, like, push, hack away, whatever you want to call it. I was very proud of that effort, and I think it's a very good sign of things to come.
Yeah, Celtics defense was really good in this game. I still can't read your pauses and breaks and wording. I can't do it. I just I can never tell. Whenever I think you're done with a sentence, you're not done. And whatever.
Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, is there anything else I should add?
and then instead of just like tying it with like a cherry
am-
stem, you just like stop talking. You just like
I am a podcasting knuckleballer.
I need somebody in the comments to tell me if I'm in the wrong here. To tell me
No,
if
I don't. I don't think you're
okay.
wrong. I don't because I literally just said it. I sometimes don't even know. I'm like, is there anything else?
Okay.
Like, am I making? I think a lot of times I'm in my head. I'm like, am I even making sense?
No, you do make sense. Celtics played great defense in this game. I was very happy with their efforts. Not usually a team that forces a lot of turnovers. They forced 13 in this game, and that doesn't seem like a lot, but they had 10 steals and 6 blocks. Like, almost all of the Cavs turnovers were forced turnovers by the Celtics, which is a very, very good thing. Celtics played great defense, put the pressure in the right places. A lot of the times it felt like this felt like a playoff series in the sense of it felt like the Celtics were anticipating what the Cavs offense wanted to do. They stepped in and they stopped it. They knew Jared Allen was going to pass to the corner. So Porzingis stopped protecting the rim and got a steal. They knew Donovan Mitchell was going to drive a certain way. They stepped in, they stopped, they turned up. Like they just anticipated the Cavs' next move really well. And the Cavs absolutely didn't shoot as well as they probably should have, but neither did the Celtics. Nobody on the Celtics made more than 7 shots. Like that's a crazy night. Jaylen Brown was 7 of 12. He was efficient, but he had gotten into foul trouble, so he didn't end up playing to end this game. Jayson Tatum was 7 of 23, 3 of 11. The Cavs put a ton of pressure on Jayson Tatum in this game, and I still think he played pretty well. 22 and 7 assists is a pretty good night. 2 steals, 2 blocks, but he also, I mean, he forced up some shots he probably shouldn't have taken, but a part of that was just the Cavs like double teamed him and threw multiple bodies at him. And he did make a lot of correct passes and probably should have had more than 7 assists as well. KP, this might have been his worst game in like a month or so, which he was due for 7 of 21 of 6. Jrue Holiday was rough. Derrick White was really the only starter who was like, oh yeah, like I'm all in this huge D White game. But the point I'm making is like, they didn't really make all the shots they probably should have, especially those Porzingis ones. Like he missed a ton of buddies. They missed a ton of layups too. So for as much as the Cavs definitely struggled, I think the Celtics defense was a big part of that. But at the same time, Celtics didn't make a ton of shots either. So I think it was a mix of both. But I was trying to figure out where I wanted to start. But I want to start with something I haven't talked about. This man, Al Horford, is like 25 again, man. It's like this has not been an Al Horford season, right? Al Horford's been pretty like, don't know if he's been good. Yeah. I think he only played like 10 minutes, 15 minutes against the Sixers in their comeback win the other night. And then he just comes in this game. He missed his first like 2 or 3 wide open threes. You're like, ah, shit, it's going to be a rough one again. And then he just popped off. I mean, he didn't end up shooting super efficient, 5 of 12, 3 of 9, but he had 10 rebounds, 3 offensive rebounds, a block, 2 assists, 13 points, was a plus 19 in his 26 minutes. This was one of those games where you just look back and be like, ah, yeah, this is nice. It's nice to have Al Horford just chilling on the bench.
It's really funny because to start this game, like when he came off the bench, he missed back-to-back threes, and I was like, literally thinking, like, wow, this really hasn't been a Horford season. Like, is he cooked? Then he's like, watch this, makes a quick three, uh, gets down low, finishes a couple, gets a couple putbacks off of offensive rebounds. And he really did a great job of helping the Celtics build that early lead. He was a big part of that. They did a great job of using him and, you know, using his energy to propel them into that energetic frenzy that got them out ahead so far. And another great thing about this game as a whole, it felt a lot like last year, Jack, where the Celtics would go up and then maybe the other team would fight back, but the Celtics never broke. I think the closest Cleveland got was what, 4, 5 when
4
Garland
or
made the
5 when
4-point
Garland had
play?
the and one. Yeah.
Bend without breaking Celtics might be back. Very impressive from them. And Horford just coming off the bench and giving them that is such like found money. You didn't expect it. He's really still getting his legs back after missing or having a whole week off for rest, whatever you want to attribute it to. Glad to see he looked fresh today. They needed it today. And he gave them great minutes against a team with really, really good big men. So big credit to him. Also, big credit to Luke for speaking of the bench big men because he
Yes.
continues to be tremendous, continues to be vanilla ice cream, continues to just, hey, I got it, boss. Yes, sir. Absolutely. I'll go out there and put Evan Mobley in hell. Evan Mobley, by the way, who remains my favorite Cavalier.
Yeah, these guys really shut down everything good about Evan Mobley, man. They know how to pick on his weak points. This Cavs team really struggled against the Celtics. Their bench was pretty useless outside of Sam Merrill, who did Sam Merrill things, and Evan Mobley did not have a good game
Quick
either.
release on him, huh? Can you believe how
Oh yeah,
fucking fast he gets that up?
it's very nice. It's very cool.
Oof.
Does it make you feel bad that all these Sams are such good NBA shooters and
I sold
couldn't?
my last men's league game, actually. I couldn't make my jump shots. Jack can tell you I can shoot the ball pretty well, but
You
not
can,
like
yeah, no,
these
for sure.
guys. And didn't play well in my last men's league game.
Mhm.
We lost for a lot of reasons, but I was one of them. I got the Jrue Holiday treatment against Memphis, and I couldn't do anything about it.
Mhm.
But even this Sam Hauser made one of those no dip threes. The no dip threes are always incredible to me. I
Crazy.
don't know how the
It's
fuck they shoot like that because, like, if you think about playing basketball, your whole body is in the mechanic of shooting the ball. And the NBA guys that are elite at shooting threes, like a Sam Merrill, like a Sam Hauser, even George Niang made one of them. They just eliminate all of the lower body and they're like flick, just catch and immediately put it up as if they're doing like a quick put up layup.
Yeah, it's crazy. The whole bench was great. You mentioned Luke; he was awesome. Only played 12 minutes, but he's great. I mentioned Horford already. We talked about it. Peyton Pritchard also 6 rebounds, 3 on the offensive glass. Celtics did a great job hitting the offensive boards in this one. They had 15. Cavs had 14 too, but the Celtics did a good job of attacking it. Pritchard made 3 big threes as well. He was great. But Derrick White, like I said to start the show, played a team high 35-07. 7 of 14, 6 of 12. Started off 4 of 10, which means he finished 2 of 2 from 3, which I mean, obviously just means he made his last 2, but they were big too. They were big too. He had 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, a block, 20 points. Was a minus 11, which is weird, but that's just because the entire bench was like plus 19, like great in this game. Derrick White continues to be one of this guy's going to make every single shot at the end of the game, guys, which is just very, very fun to watch unfold in real time.
It's good to see he's back. I've declared over the last week, whether it's been here or first to the floor, he's officially back. You can sign it into law. Derrick White has returned. He took his little I did the old man or young man in the 3 hiatus and lost his shooting powers, which is a real
Yeah.
thing
No,
that happens
yes.
season after season. He's back, and they've needed him to be back, and he continues to push them to be the best version of the Celtics. they largely got across the finish line today because he had 14 points in the fourth quarter. He was aggressive. He was confident. He was willing to put the ball on the floor. He made a big pull up when the Celtics looked like they were dead offensively. I loved what we saw from him. Not to mention he had 3 stocks in this game. He had the incredible block on Donovan Mitchell in transition. He was just all over the
Yep.
place, doing everything he could to help the Celtics win. It's really funny looking at the box score and just seeing -11 next to Derrick White and
I know.
-10 next to Jrue. It's just like I don't think they earned those negative plus minuses today.
Mm-mm.
But big credit to Derrick for showing up and having been shown up all for the last week and a half, 2 weeks now. Thank goodness he's back. They missed him.
Yes, 100% agree. Jalen was good in his minutes. He only played 28-19 because he got into foul trouble pretty early. 5 turnovers too, but I thought he was good at picking his spots, shooting the ball. 6 assists is great for him. 9 rebounds was huge. We can lump Tatum, the Jays together. Tatum, good all-around game. I think despite the poor shooting performance, he definitely took some that you were like, maybe don't. But I don't think it was like I don't think this was a, oh my God, all of Tatum's shots are awful night. I think it was he's going to take the 2 or 3 that you maybe don't want him to take like he does every single other game. And I actually thought he did a pretty good job of handling the pressure because, I mean, these guys said like, hey, I will say.
I texted you early
I know.
today. Yeah.
Doubling Tatum is the thing. And guess what? I'd love to go see like the trend of teams that double Tatum versus don't. Celtics have a pretty damn good winning percentage when teams double Tatum. I'll say that because they did
Is
it
Nico
against the
Harrison
Sixers. They
telling
did it
them
in
to
this
do that?
game. Maybe.
Is he feeding them
Nico
that
Harrison,
information?
listen,
I want to talk
double
about
teaming
Tatum.
never works.
I want to talk about Tatum. So I have to make fun of it. The end of the game, the Celtics are up 9. We get a Tatum watch this possession. He takes the worst shot you've ever seen after dribbling between his legs a billion times. Then Darius Garland comes down and makes the 4-point play. That's the
Yeah.
only negative thing I really have to say. Aside from that, I
Yeah.
was very impressed with not only him, but also Porzingis, the fact that they kind of figured it out and collectively came together and had a good third quarter when the Celtics needed that because Cleveland was climbing back up the mountain after being down 20. Like they were getting themselves back into the game, and Boston needed the efficient third quarters from both of those guys, especially like considering that they both start. I think Jrue on the broadcast said 5 of 14. They both started from the field. Pretty good finish to the game after that, staying poised, being ready for the moment. They went to Kristaps a lot down the stretch. They were trying so hard to target Garland on the mismatches. And because the offense was centered around that today, credit to both of them for actually getting themselves out of the ice bath because it was looking rough.
Yeah. Yeah. KP did not have a good game. All of the shots he took were the same exact shots he's been getting all season. He's got some of the best shots he's gotten, I would argue, in this game because Darius Garland kept switching onto him. They were just all front rim. He must have been tired. Like they were all front rim, especially from the mid-range. So that wasn't great. But like you said, he strung together a nice third quarter. Continues to be one of the best defensive pieces in the league. 2 steals, 2 blocks in this game. His rim protection has been awesome. Jrue, listen, man. Jrue's defense will always be important. Offensively, he's been pretty much a non-factor this year. He'll have a few spurts here and there. Jake and I talked about this after the Sixers game. So 1 of 6 in this game, 0 of 2. Nobody, and I mean nobody, misses layups like Jrue Holiday.
Derrick did.
Derrick did, but
They
the one
missed
Jrue
the
missed
same
at the
layup,
start
in
of this
fact.
game. Oh my God. No, fine. Nobody misses layups like the Celtics, but Derrick never misses those layups. I knew
No, he
Jrue Holiday
doesn't.
was not going to make that layup. Like I knew that shit was not going.
I was actually like watching this game today, Jack, and did have the thought creep into my head because we talked about it on the pregame. And if you missed the pregame, I brought up Cedric Maxwell was talking to Joe Sway on the Cedric Maxwell podcast and was like, I've been hearing like little rumors. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't put any stock into this, please. If you're listening to this and you're hearing this for the first time, I don't think it's going to happen. It's not what I'm saying. But Cedric goes, I heard like maybe they'll trade Jrue to Memphis and get Marcus Smart and Santi Aldama back. And I was thinking about it during the game. I was like, what if they did trade Jrue? I was like, and it wasn't even because of like he was playing poorly on offense. I guess overall it is, but it was because they elected not to have him in the game and they put in Pritchard and Al both in favor over him. when Jalen was in foul trouble at the end of the game, it just made me think a little bit. I was like, do they really need him? I don't think they should trade him. Please don't get mad in the comments. I'm not saying to trade him. I'm just saying you're starting to see like the Celtics go away from that. Like you're seeing them really trust Pritchard. And I think Holiday needs to get it together offensively because they are going to need him in the playoffs to be a two-way player. And they can't have him being an offensive liability because it'll be something for defenses to attack, to harp on, to try and exploit. He just hasn't been the same this year.
Listen, he hasn't been the same, but what he brings defensively is not reflected in box scores. It's not reflected with efficiency. It is like his ability to switch onto anybody to vocally lead the Celtics defense is invaluable, and trading that for anybody, especially right now, which again, they're not going to trade him this season. He probably will be the guy they end up having to trade when this CBA ends up forcing them to stop paying one of their top $30 million a year guys. But what he brings defensively is still way more important than I think a lot of people like to acknowledge or would choose to acknowledge. What they could get for Jrue Holiday, I don't know. I don't know how much they could get for him this season. I don't know what they will end up getting for him when or if they inevitably do have to trade him. But Jrue Holiday is still unequivocally one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA. And I think that will end up showing up more in the playoffs too. So I'm not worried about Jrue. I just think we just have to live with the reality that this is probably the offensive version of Jrue that exists now. Like it just is, which is fine because last year probably was a ridiculous exception because he shot 60% on corner threes. Like that's just not something that can be repeated. But yeah. Outside of that, I think we covered everything pretty much. Donovan Mitchell did Donovan Mitchell things. The Cavs are a damn good team, man. This is, I think, the best win the Celtics have had in a long time. This was like, if there was ever an indicator as to, okay, the Celtics are going to be fine in the playoffs because they can turn it up, they cared about this game. They gave a shit. They wanted to win this game. And I'm not going to sit here and say, like, it's okay for them not to want every game because they should. They should want every game. They should play like this every game. But there's also an acknowledgement to, it's hard to play like this every game. Like it is hard. 82 game season. I say this all the time, and I'm going to keep using it as an example because it is. I don't care about work every day. I'm not going 100% 24 hours a day.
Look
you know what I'm saying? Like it happens, and I feel like athletes get held to this. Like it makes sense to get held to the standard because they're paid so much money, but like they're humans. Shit happens, and if, like I said, if there was ever an indicator that the Celtics do have a flip they can switch, it was the second half against Philly and it is this Cleveland game because they fucking cared and they wanted both those games. And so this gave me a good, or at least I think it gave good insight into they will be good and they will be fine in the playoffs.
Yeah, what I really liked about this is I agree with you. I think they really played with intent today. And I like that it wasn't just like check the box, yes or no. Did they shoot really, really well? Yes, they win. No, they don't. Because they didn't shoot well today. They shot 40% from the field. If you plugged this shooting, or I'm sorry, if you plugged the type of remainder of the basketball that the Celtics were playing over the last 2 months outside of shooting the basketball in today, they would have lost. They turned it up. They took control. They forced turnovers. They hit the offensive glass, and they made their own luck today. This would not have been a good day to have Joe Mazzulla go up to the podium and been like, well, we didn't shoot well from three. What do you want out of us? Because this is exactly what we'd like out of you. We would like you to force turnovers and hit the offensive glass as much as you can. I know it really exposes you in transition, but I think the turnovers in the stocks more than anything really say a lot about how much control the Celtics actually can have, whether or not the ball goes in for them.
Yes, 100%. And this, like you said, this was a good example of that type of game. So hopefully they can continue to do this or something like this moving forward. But is there anything else you think we missed? Excuse me, that we should be talking about? I think we covered most of the bases.
Just to put a cap on that, you also can't guarantee the other team's going to shoot 39% and 28% every night. So
they did a good job. They did a good job forcing it though. Like their
yes.
defense had a lot to do with it. So also, as we're recording this, Max Christie off the bench for the Mavs in a loss to the Sixers. Embiid was back, but Max Christie had 15 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists on 5 of 8, 4-4 shooting. So
Caleb Martin played for the Mavs today?
Dallas might have won the trade. No, he didn't.
They did not have him walk across the other locker room.
No. They did not have him switch. I don't think the trade's officially.
Oh, no, I don't think so either.
I think no, because actually,
I don't know if they announced it.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to look. Let me look at the Mavs Twitter because usually it comes out. Or actually, let me look at Mavericks PR because they would have put something out as soon as it was done. Is it just Mavs PR?
Poor Mavs PR, Mavs Twitter, Mavs PR, Mavs social has been just getting nuked.
They did. No. The trade's official because Mavs announced they acquired Caleb Martin. So he technically could have played, but they didn't do that. That would have been funny though. But yeah, Max Christie, big game, and I don't know, man. Listen, they were unbelievably stupid to make the trade, and I still can't believe the trade happened. They're still going to be a really, really, really good basketball team.
Since the trade. Max Christie, 15 points. Luka, 0.
It's true. I don't know. I'm excited to see what both these teams look like, obviously, because this was the biggest trade in NBA history. So we'll see what happens.
Was.
Anyways, we can leave it there. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to How About Them Celtics, and I'll let Sam take it out.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment, tell us what you thought of Celtics Cavs. Subscribe and hit the bell. We're here every single day. New pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday game recaps like this one are up the morning after each game, and other videos are up on the channel in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. We're also streaming live here for a half hour before every single game. So come hang out. It's a ton of fun. We always do the pregame streams. It's a good time. Again, subscribe, leave a like, comment. You can also find us on Spotify and Apple. All pods and recaps up there for you. So if you want the audio versions of those, go ahead. Subscribe, follow, whatever you want to call it. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that very much as well. It helps us reach more people. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. You know you're fired up. Who doesn't get fired up over a big win in Cleveland? We do. You just watch the whole pod. hbtcpod@gmail.com. We'll read those emails when we record tomorrow. You can find us on socials at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook is just the name of the podcast. All streams there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter is at Jack's One NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.